Okay, so anyone have any questions, last class, before last class? Any clarification? Have you guys has gone through this recording sessions and practices yourself in your subscription ads? Okay. Okay, then let's proceed, today agenda. Okay, so yesterday we left that, taking up the backup of infrastructure as service for the SQL Server in IaaS VM. Okay, that basically we are going to focusing initially, 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so how we can able to take the backup and, and restoring. Okay, so from the blob stories and, uh, backing up the restoring process, we did, successfully, and we just uh, uh, elaborated the file share concept as well. So in the database prospect of in which use case it is going to work, that also we just explored, most of the use cases also we discussed about, last classes. So today agenda is we'll concentrate about how we're going to leverage this backup concept, because on premises we have a lot of tools we are going to use to take the huge enterprise level infrastructure we are going to maintain any customer, the client. Okay, basically third party tool we will use. Okay, so uh, but now in the cloud landscape, okay, the PaaS model, anyhow, you have the backup inbuilt. Okay, so that is a different approach. I'm not focusing up at this moment at that part. Okay, so since we just discussed about a lot last, 1 week, the infrastructure as service, okay, where the deployment process, installation process, the software assurance process, and all, right? So there is, one more additional part which we need to discuss in the backup and the restore part. Okay, so the traditional native method, how we are going to proceed in the on-premises, the same kind of approach. But in addition, okay, so if you are not, familiar that part, and you don't want to use that aspect as per as same as an on premises, you want to explore it enterprise level, you want to maintain GDPR and PIPA compliance related stuff. If you want to data to maintain in the cloud, okay, so with the minimum cost, okay, so you are good to go and leverage this feature. Okay, so that is what I want to tell basically. Okay, so let's jump into this Azure Recovery Service Vault and all, so that you will get complete idea. Post that, okay, so we'll go and explore it about platform as a service. Okay, so in the infrastructure as service, most of the things we did. Okay, so we just left out high availability and all. Okay, so but still the backup restoration part is still remain. That's what I'm going to cover in this one. And then today we are going to start brand new this Azure SQL, Azure SQL managed instance. So where it is going to fit, in which use case, we just need to suggest to the client, so that you will get complete outcome in this platform as a service. Okay, just keep aside the platform as service just for less 10 to 15 minutes, and whatever we left in yesterday, taking up the backup complete infrastructure. Okay, there is a two things actually how we are going to take the backup. Okay, so whatever we did in the last on premises tasks, I'm not going to focus. Okay, so I'm more concerned about taking off your backup into the recovery service vault end. Okay, so I think we have already diagram. Okay, Azure Vault. Yeah. So what I'm going to taking now. Okay, so this is a and kind of one sort of service. Okay, so how we are going to learn about this storage account. Okay, this is also one PaaS services. Okay, it is going to help to protect your databases and the server. Okay, so not only database and database servers, if you have any storage level component that you want to configure, and the VM level backup also you can able to take. Okay, so that is the beauty of this one. Okay, we just need to, so you can take the backup from here. Okay, so directly instead of a local disk and all. Okay, uh, whatever the servers we have, we can take here. Okay, so you can maintain. Okay, you can schedule. Okay, here you can able to do, automated schedule thing. Okay, you can schedule backup, Azure VM, and SQL Server. So both the options we will get. Okay. So, and also it is going to explore it, recovery service world. Okay. So your workload, let's say, okay, Azure also it will take, on premises also it will take. Okay. Any other cloud. Okay. So other public cloud also it is going to work. Okay. So you can able to schedule the backup. Okay. So these many things you can able to perform it. Okay, so it is very good pass module services from the Microsoft end. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, so how we can able to leverage that one. Okay, and how it is flexible, and with respect to the backup, how we're going to configure it. So as I said, last 2 to 3 classes, we have the option to taking off local within the server backup, and can able to take the direct backup to the blob storage, and you can able to restore. This is our normal regular task. Okay, it is as similar as our storage network component. It is going to work. Okay, so this is we did already completely, but today I'm going to focus on this just a small topic. Okay, but it is very important. Most of the times whatever we are going to do on premises and the cloud, this is what we are going to do if at all you are going to leverage. Okay, this is a one aspect, but it is very cost and expensive comparing to other tools and all. Okay, so when it is going to use for, let's say, client does not have any third party tool, and he want to maintain GDPR compliance related, he want to maintain some retention period of 6 years or 8 years kind of data based upon his business strategy, let's say in the banking sector, telecom domain, or FMGC, e-commerce, these sectors. Okay, there is some regulatory compliance country to country where it will be maintaining, right? So that is the thing where we can able to implement in the tool end completely. Okay, so this will give both the things flexibility to us, so that we are going to explore it today. Okay, so let me deploy it completely in a one single shot. Okay, so today, okay, so that we are easy to understand the things. Okay, so let me jump into this demo part. Okay, so before that, if you guys is having any questions, let me know. Okay, so all right, let me join this portal.azure.com, my portal. Okay, let's go to the VM part. Okay. So one more thing, when you are deploy, uh, VM also you can able to configure this recovery vault, that I will show you folks. Okay, okay. Let me create first of all VNet. Okay, so that we will get some idea. Okay, so This is my production SQL VM. We are going to deploy this VNet.
This
Okay.
VNet name will allow caps, bro.
Yeah, it will
Capital
allow.
letter.
Yeah, it will allow.
Oh,
If you gone through the yesterday, okay, so if you guys is remember the Bastion part, actually Azure Bastion we individually did and mapped, right? So that also we are going to do now. Okay, so make it in a Bastion network for this one. Okay, so we need for the Bastion network as well. Okay, I just want to give the IP address, IP range as well here. Let me give first of all. Okay, here we have 10.16 dash is there. Since we selected for the Bastion network, so always the Bastion network is required, one dedicated subnet we required. So VNet and subnet is, it is the backbone of your complete organization infrastructure. This is okay. So who are the organization, they're maintaining their own network strategies, they're going to configure, that network, it is going to divide into the multiple subnet. That subnet is going to map, multiple projects or divisions. Let's say multiple business units is there, they're going to divide into multiple segments. This is okay. So let's keep this as is one. Okay, I'm not going to explain it today in detail. Yesterday we discussed in detail. Let's stop that one. Okay, let me make this one as subnet one instead of the default. I want to give some name specific. Okay, SQL subnet one. Okay, so this is my subnet name, and keep it, 24 is there. If you want to increase, you can able to increase or decrease whatever you want to do. You can do it. Okay, so by default it is taking 256 IPs, but I'll just make this one 25 IPs only. Let's keep this save only. Okay, so that we have one subnet. You can configure in a multiple subnet. Okay, max to max we have, based upon your enterprise subscription, it is going to increase, but my end it is normal subscription only. I can able to configure 100 subnets at this moment. Okay, so let's make this one, click on create and review. So VNet got configured. What I'm going to do now, okay, so once after the VNet is completed successfully, I'll do my VM into this particular subnet end. Okay, so in the east to yes, VNet I have created, and in the VNet we just taken the subnet one only. Okay, in the subnet I'm going to deploy the VM. Okay, post that, okay, we will take this backup and strategy. Okay, but this configuration I'm going to do, individually. Okay, I'll show while deploying of the VM. Okay, this one how we are going to opt. Okay, but make sure this all the things, okay, this pass recovery service vault and the database and the network, it should be same region. Then only this in a complete architecture, it is going to work to successful implementation. Okay, let move forward this one. Meantime, what I'm going to do, a recovery service vault I'm going to create. Okay, just type recovery service, recovery here, able to see this one. Simply navigate that blade. Okay, so it is a pass service. How you deploy that storage account and all, it is the same kind of approach. So no recovery service what is today displayed. Okay, so what it is going to give, more information, how we are going to take the backup, how we are going to cite redundancy also, it is going to help us. Okay, let's click on create. Step by step we will explore it and we will deploy it one by one. Okay, so my agenda today, the SQL backups related stuff. Since we have already the resource group, it is available. You'll keep this one as a SQL. Okay, so vault. Okay, so for East US. Okay, so I'm just keep this naming convention. Okay, so specifically this is for the SQL related, but within the just for naming. Okay, don't think about anything. Okay, so just let's go for the redundancy. So as we discussed, if you guys is remember or not. Okay, so there is a lot of things which we discussed. That's what I have taken around 1 week of the basics. Okay, each and every component there is a components which we can able to see the local redundant, zone redundant, geographical redundant. See, if you are going to take the local redundant, as I said, within the region, there is a 3 copies of data. It is going to replicate in a single data center. Okay, this is zone. We are going to maintain, 6 copies, within the single region only, but between the data centers. This is a geo redundant. How it is going to help, real time process. If you opt this one, let's say if you want to restore your region, what is the region currently we opt, east US, right? Let's say you want to restore this backup, other VNet. Okay, so other VMs in other region in the West US and the South India, or you can take it up, other Japan. So in a different geographical location, we can able to store. But considering of the existing East US region, only it is going to work with a paired region. Okay, I'll tell you that what is a paired region. Microsoft by default, okay, so they configured the backend network connectivity, seamless connectivity, okay, to integrate, connect without extra configuration. It is available to your resource. When you are going to opt this geo redundant, the data is going to replicate between the regions. Okay, so see, one single region have minimum 2 data center, maximum it may be depend upon the location. Okay, so this geo redundant, it is going to help us to restore your database backups to one region to other region. So again, there is an each and every layer, it is going to, occupy some cost incurring, but based upon your business requirement, you'd have to think about it. Let's say in a real time aspect. Okay, so if your client is, only for the one geographical location, you can opt this one in local redundant. Okay, so he is looking after, let's say in a Chennai. Okay, there is a lot of, floods is going to happening, and that is the case. You need to suggest that, zone redundant. Okay, geographical redundant client may have, different location business units and the operations, so that you can configure the geo redundant. It's all about, client requirement and a business strategy, and the cost. These three things you have to remember, then you have to search it. But one thing, once after the configuration, if you are going to change that, we just need to take the help of the with uh, cloud vendor Microsoft. Why? Because of this is a pass, you don't have any control, only you are going to opt this service our SQL server. Okay, let me make this one only for the local redundant. So why? Because today morning what I did, one VM I deployed, I forgot to delete. Okay, it is cost around, 500 rupees. Okay, so that's what I'm just taking local redundant. Okay, let's see other parts as well. Just go for the next vault properties here. Okay,
In which
so
region?
what
In which
about,
region you created a VM, right? Like for geo
yeah,
it
yeah,
taken
that
part.
yeah, that is actually in a Chennai region only. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So vault properties we
So
have. So
geo would be taking cost, right? Geo
yes,
more.
yes, yes, it is going to take more. Okay. So what vault properties enabling, this option is going to take, some sort of flexibility, but I'm not going to use this one. Okay, so locking operation and all. Okay, so let's proceed for the networking option and all. Okay, you can allow this access for all the network or deny public access. Okay, so we just going to make this one denying of the public access and allowing to the your network. Basically you can able to take this one. Okay, so some, existing VNet related stuff. Okay, if you can see this your network will be, you can able to map only for this specific region only, it is going to work. Okay, so that's what. Okay, let's make this one allow all public access all the network by default one. Okay, we'll try to do this one as well later on. Okay, just go to this next option. Okay, so tag and all. Okay, local redundant all and review it. Just click on create. Okay, so what is going to show you all this, your subscription, resource group name and used to use. So the local redundant I have taken, and also this is the wall properties. This option will be disabled at this moment. Okay, so let's keep this one. Click on create. Okay, so once after the deployment is done, we'll go and see how we can able to use this recovery service vault in the backup aspect, step by step process. Okay, now, so let it keep this one. It is going to take some time. Just before, what we did is, VNet configuration is done. Okay, if you guys remember or not, we just deployed, VNet east to US region. I deployed, right? So in the VNet, go and all time see this address space. Since we have choose that, 10 dot series address space, we are going to accommodate 65,000 of IP addresses within your organization. So how we are going to split, how we are going to assign this IP address in the multiple segments. So the address space of virtual network is composed to one or more overlapping address space range that is specified in the CIDR notation. Okay, so you can make it of your CIDR notation. Like if you go for the subnet part, you will easily to understand what is the CI classless inter-domain routing. That is, see, since during the deployment we just deployed the subnet and the VNet. If you want to create multiple subnet also, you can able to configure it here. Okay, so if I want to configure the app subnet, okay, this is I'm going to assign app subnet one. Okay, so let's keep this one as 251 250 260 256 IPs it will come, but five address is going to reserved in the backend Microsoft Azure. The rest of the IPs you can able to use 251. Just simple click on save it. Okay, nothing to do, and no need to go for in-depth here. Okay, just for understand the concept high level. Okay, this networking, this recovery vault, everybody is going to everything is going to do for the Azure admin team. Okay, so why we are going to emphasizing, because of you are going to do the operation of a backup and restore. See, the on-premises in the cloud is completely different. Okay, so you will take the script backup locally and move the backup. That is a different approach. But here, okay, if you are going to leverage this backup operation, backup and the restore concept, which is going to implement in the availability also. Okay, you are the authorized person to refresh the backup to the one server to other server and one location to other location. You are the whole and soul going to maintain, but networking, this deployment and all going to taken care for the admin team. But okay, without knowing of the background, okay, so you cannot able to do. So let's the recovery service got deployed at the east to us. Okay, client is asked to refresh the database into the other location. So you would have to know the backend architecture so that you can able to justify your client requirement, and also you are able to do or not, and taking the help of the infra team. That's what I'm going to in depth of each and everything, and basic concepts as well. See, it is not our scope to know networking stories and all, but wherein you are into the cloud admin, if you are going to work, you should know this must and should. Okay, so let's say you just simply deployed the SQL server. You are trying to connect, RDP session. Okay, so it is not able to connecting. Okay, it does not mean that this is a network related issue. Okay, you cannot able to blame that network team or the admin team, right? So where you need to check that one. So normally what we will do on premises, we will do the ping parameter, the telnet, and we are going to connect instance and all. Okay, but in the cloud landscape, you would have to know all these firewalls related and all, right? So where this inbound port, outbound port, when you are going to know this all this concept as and when you are working into the real time only, or else you are have some exposure on this basic concept in details, so that you can easily to identify it. whether it is blocking into the server level or firewall level or inbound port or the network level. So inbound port, whether that's a 3389 port or the 1433 port is whitelisted or not, who is going to verify? You have to go and verify it. When you are going to know, when you know this networking concept and all, then only you can able to know, hey boss, you can ask them, you can request, so boss, this is a port is not whitelisted, that's what I'm not able to connecting, just do this one, so that he can do. So every task you are not going to do, but back and forth how it is going to work, where is the blocking. So you should know the end to end of this cloud. So that's what, knowing the things of only Azure SQL, it is only for the today's class hardly. Okay, so that it is not going to work at any point of time. Okay, you should know the basics as well as the our database concepts as well. Okay, so that's what we just focusing all back end architecture designing as well. Okay, let's jump into this deploying of the VM. Okay, so at this moment, if you can go and see this all the okay, so I we deployed at this moment, I can able to see. Okay, so we have an Azure Bastion since we deployed during the VNet configuration. We do have virtual network and recovery service vault also. Okay, so and also we have a network security group. As I said, okay, so just before I talked about that VNet has some network security group. So if you can see this inbound outbound port, there is no port at all, 1433, 3389 port. Okay, so when you are going to deploy any VM, okay, in this network, okay, trying to connect any RDP or SQL server, it won't work. So you should know this all the things. When you are going to know, when you are working the real time only, will get to know. Okay, so but it is not our scope, but still you have to know this all the back and forth, all these details and all. Okay. uh, all right, now what I'm going to do now at this moment, let's navigate to this recovery service world. Okay, so I want to explore it, the things. Okay, this is the recovery service world. Now, here is you have an overview thing. Okay, and this overview where we can able to take the backup, what kind of backup we can able to take. Okay, so is this working for replication and all site recovery and getting backup, we'll discuss. Okay, each and everyone will discuss, no problem. And if you can see, since we did not map any network, okay, it is all the things it is going to access all the networks. Okay, so no problem. And private access also we can able to, private endpoint also we can able to configure this one. And my point is here, because there is a two things we need to focus basically as a database administration. Okay, getting started with backup. Okay, if you have any already existing backups, you can able to see here. Okay, since I don't have any backup item, it is going to show you like uh, as I said initially, it will take the virtual machines backup. I know Azure backup agent, I know DPM on on-premises also to file share it is going to take. Okay, SQL and Azure VM it is going to take all this flavors is going to take the backup first of all. Okay, since I don't have any configuration backup at this moment, it is not showing. Okay, let me go and click on creating the backup first of all. See, as I said, where is the workloads is running, whether it is running any Azure, okay, or any Azure Stack Hub or Azure Stack HCA, these are all Windows related stuff. My point is that your SQL server working in Azure or available in Azure, or else it is in on-premises. Okay, if it is on-premises, how we are going to take the backup? You want to take the only VM level files and folders. You want to take the complete hypervisor of the virtual machines and VMware virtual machines, on-premises SQL Server only, SharePoint, Exchange, system side, bare metal recovery. So I'm not going to focus on this one, but we can able to take the Microsoft SQL Server only. Okay, but make sure that this Azure site to your on-premises connectivity is required if you want to take the backup. Okay, so now I'm just going to discuss in this on client is running their workloads on premises only currently. Okay, you don't have any workloads into the Azure. Okay, but you want to implement backup solution into the cloud landscape. so that, okay, so you can use this backup tool. See, let's say instead of using the Redgate, the Commvault, whatever the tool we are currently using, okay, that is still remaining, your backups are your on premises only. Okay, there is no resiliency of your, backup files in your data. Okay, so if you want to push your complete your database and the database backup files, okay, in a cloud, okay, which is a safe, secure zone, across the world you can able to access. Okay, you can fulfill your compliance related stuff, you can good to go and implement, okay, instead of that tools. Okay, that is what it is going to help us to take the backup configuration. Now, since we are going to deploying the my VM into the Azure, okay, so if you want to take the Azure only, what it is going to show you, hey boss, is this your VM only you want to take the backup? This is Windows team is going to do. No, you want to take the Azure file share, you want to take the only Azure file share. Why? Because of, if you see, let's say file share, if you guys remember or not, it is going to take nearly one file share 500 terabyte data it is going able to store, right? So in a long term, let's say 10 years, 15 years, something you want to store your data with a lesser price of cost, you can good to go and take the file share as well. And see here, SQL Server in Azure VM. This is what we are going to implement now. In addition, this is also you can able to configure. Okay, both the things I am going to achieve now at this moment today. Okay, so your workloads in running SQL Server IaaS VM, you can good to go and take it up. And SAP HANA also, running in your Azure VM. This is also can able to take it up. Okay, so let's jump. Since okay, I'm just going to take this one SQL Server IaaS VM, and if I'm going to discover. You cannot able to find anything. Okay, you cannot able to find anything. Just start this discovery part. There is no virtual machines find. Okay, so so if the scratch VMs is not found, cross check with your VMs. Okay, there is no VMs find in this one. Okay, because of we don't have any VMs, right? Okay, so even we don't have any database as well. Let's say if I'm going to take the only VM. Okay, so how it is going to see this backup configuration, and we just need to discover the part first of all. Okay, so I don't have any VMs at this moment, so that I cannot able to find the VMs related stuff. Okay, so let me deploy, okay, to achieve this task. Okay, so SQL Server IaaS VM first of all. Then after that we'll configure this one, and we'll create the policy, we'll take the backup, we'll do the restoration. All right, so let me jump into this deploy the VM now. Okay, so as of now, what we did, based upon this architecture diagram, okay. So we did, VNet, okay. We did subnet, okay. We did, recovery service vault. I'm going to deploy this VM, okay. One subnet I have, okay. Post that, okay. So I want to configure this VM into the taking of the backup into this, recovery service vault, okay. So let's see and deploy that one. Okay, so before going to deploy, anyone have any questions at this moment? All right, buddy. So if you don't have,
So in
I'll
terms
go.
of cost, which one better, bro? Azure recovery service what, or ad hoc backup tools, on-prem tools?
Okay,
We can suggest if we are in on-premises server.
that's what I'm coming to the point. Boss, if you're asking only, we will explore it. Okay, so maybe your thought is different, and your requirement is different. So that you should ask the question, then only we will explore it. Okay, time is not concern and my point of. Okay, I'm just going very slow, but I'll explore it each and everything. Right. So your question, which is the right backup solution. Okay, so I'll talk about the limitation as well as the features and the cost. Three things I'm going to involve in. Okay. Now, so you are asking about the cost, right?
Yes. No, if the server is in on-premises server, that is
Yeah,
what.
I'm talking about on-premises only now. I'm talking about completely on-premises only. Okay. Now you tell me, okay. In my point of, it is very expensive in the on-premises, but let's say your ideal configuration of the server here, okay, something like cores, 120 GB RAM, okay. Let's say hard disk is 500 TB or 500 GB. Okay, let's tell me this, hardware of 500 GB, how much it is going to cost in your perspective, okay, in a storage perspective. Let's assume this one, okay, so 200 USD, okay. This is your ideal configure is done, okay, so this is your server size, and you are taking this, database backup, okay. So let's say every day you are going to take the full backup boss, okay, every day full backup, okay, and every 6 hours taking differential, and let's say every 30 minutes is your log backup. Now how much it is going to occupy per day actually, Srini? Full backup 500 is there, okay.
Okay.
Just assume that I'm not going to give exact thing, but the cost
Mm.
perspective it is going to give less only. Let's say one day, okay, just consider this is 30 days you can configure it, okay. 500 GB you are going to take the per day 500 GB first of all, the full backup, okay. So you want to maintain this 1 week, let's say 1 week retention period, only 1 week retention period. But nobody production environment, nobody is not going to maintain 1 week. Minimum to minimum, okay, in a local mission, if you are considering at least 1 week, max to max you are going to maintain at least 3 months you are going to maintain, but worst case